Lily, we couldn't find the other... What did you do? You were fucking dead!
Shit, the bomb! AJ!
That ending! Oh my god! Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel here today. We're back from The Walking Dead Season 4 Theory. If you've been unaware, Episode 3 ended on a cliffhanger, and it involved a boat explosion with the bomb that Willie had made. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing the aftermath, because it seems we've had cliffhangers always at the end of the penultimate episode of The Walking Dead. Season 1, we had Lee getting bitten. Season 2, we had the Russian fight. Season 3, we had the explosion with Kate in the truck. And in this season, we had the explosion of the boat. And now, there's the fates of many characters, especially with the achievements that are going to be in this episode. The first one, the Act 1 achievement, we're going to be talking about here. So, spoiler warning if you don't want to see those achievements. But this achievement that I'm going to be talking about, as well as some other kind of hints, hint that there's going to be a fiery, death-inducing, bloody beginning to this episode. So, let me know what you guys think's going to happen in the beginning of the episode. I'm going to discuss the foreshadowing, all the hints we've gotten, and what I think is going to happen in this beginning of the episode. So, if you guys haven't already, smack the like, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace. So, firstly, with the explosion actually happening and Willie doing a hell of a great job. I didn't expect Willie's bomb to actually work. I had a feeling in my head that it wasn't. He did a fantastic job. You can actually see this explosion. It's a pretty bad one. And a lot of people are wondering what is going to go down. Now, firstly, let's talk about the achievement. This achievement is completing Act 1, Red Water. And what does the hint of red water give me? We are on a boat. Looks like it most likely is going to sink. The water near the shore is kind of shallow, but I don't think where we're at, I don't think the water is this shallow. So I'm making the assumption that this boat is going to sink. And with the hint of red water, there's going to be a ton of blood. Whether it's going to be a lot of characters. There's a lot of determinate characters, especially with Lily's group. There's like at least, I think, 4 or 5 determinate characters in their group, as well as we've got James. So a lot of them could still be dying here, as well as maybe some people that are not, you know, undetermined status. And again, hints that there's already walkers in the water. We know that, and there's gonna be a lot of blood. Whether it's, you know, all those people dying, the walkers dying, you're gonna see an entire river just covered in blood because so many people / walkers are gonna be dying. And I'm very nervous based on hearing this, because usually when we've gotten cliffhangers, nothing too bad has happened. Remember Season 1 again? Lee, I mean, we knew he was going to die no matter what, so that was kind of just a given. Season 2 at the Russian fight, I thought there was going to be tons of deaths with that, and there wasn't any, actually, other than the Russian group, pretty much, other than Arvo. So if you're going to expect some deaths, it's probably going to be mostly Lily's group, but we might have 1 or 2 characters, maybe even determinants of our group that could die here. And we also had Season 3 with Kate, really, well, that didn't really end up in anyone dying, just a bunch of New Frontier people, and you get my point. So, blood, red water, we're getting it. Now let's talk about what I think is going to go down. So a fun fact, if you kill Lily, telling AJ to kill Lily, Celine will pop up and say we couldn't find the others, and she gets very furious with you and she wants to kill you. But confirming that she couldn't find Lewis, Omar, Asim, Violet, maybe even Minerva. And that gives me the inclination that they're either off the boat or they were nearly off the boat when the explosion happened. So they may be safe. More likely than not that they are safe. But, there's different circumstances based on picking Lewis and Violet. Remember, we can have Minerva either shot with an arrow or knocked out. Violet will stay with Minerva no matter what. Lewis will go with them, with Sim and Omar, no matter what. You're either going to have a Lewis that's got his tongue out, they have to carry Lewis because he's injured if he has his tongue cut out. But if he doesn't, he'll still be kind of shocked a little bit about, because he killed Dorian, but they'll still get out probably fast enough. So maybe, for example, if Lewis has his tongue cut out, they don't get out in time because Lewis is a little slower. Or, for example, if Violet has to, you know, care for Minerva, if Minerva gets shot, she won't get out. I think definitely some people are not going to get out in our group, and I think that choice of either, you know, Minerva getting shot or not, and Lewis having his tongue cut out or not, are going to be very impactful with who gets out in time. And definitely, if one of these people don't get out, they definitely could either get injured, bitten, who knows what. So let us go through the slowed down footage of the explosion and see what we can, you know, make assumptions about. And you see the boat start to shake from the explosion. James, AJ kind of shaking with it as Clementine basically realizes, yes, the explosion's gonna happen. You see smoke coming because you knew the boat had started, and you see the water there. Where are we gonna end up going after this landing? You know, the explosion and all this. But once Clementine sees that smoke, she knows that the explosion is imminent. And she runs to AJ, says, "Oh, bleep, the bomb, AJ." And she starts running over, and all you see, then the explosion happens. Now, you're going to see a bunch of characters move here. You're going to see there's Clementine moving back, AJ a little shake, and they all start getting pushed back. AJ looks like he's getting pushed to the side. 10 goes flying. James goes flying, if alive. Solene will probably go flying. And that other girl, she'll probably go flying too. So everyone's getting pushed, and then you notice Clementine hits her head straight on the wall. And this is where I think where I'll start my prediction. So first, they're going to have a determinate, James or Lily, and I think their factor will be important. It's not going to be like mind-breaking or decision-changing, but I think Lily and James are probably going to definitely change how the introduction of the episode can be, because definitely we're still going to have to worry about Lily if she survives this boat explosion, and I don't know how James is going to feel with us since we again killed Lily after the boat explosion. So their, you know, again, mindsets will be a factor. We are going to probably, most likely, in my opinion, have a beginning of Clementine having a dream / flashback, since it seems like she's going to get knocked out from this explosion. I think it's going to be the McHale Ranch. And after the McHale Ranch flashback, we're going to be waking up maybe, who knows, 10, 15, 20 minutes after this explosion. We may see walkers everywhere, because the explosion is going to attract walkers. We know that. As always, what happens in the Walking Dead canon, don't make loud noises. And that's a huge noise. And there was already a ton of walkers already. And you had the walkers in the water too. And most likely you're going to have the boat sink. So you're going to have a lot of walkers, irregardless. And you're going to have Clementine waking up. You've got all these MIA people as well. You've got James, potentially determinately. You got Lily, determinately. You got AJ, 10. Clementine herself. You've got Violet, Lewis, Omar, Asim. We don't even know about Willie and Ruby. They're not listed as MIA, but we know Willie, potentially, if he had taken, you know, the supplies or the horses, you know, he could get seen. But it doesn't look like they saw him. And we also got Ruby. They're not listed as MIA, so I think they're safe. But all the MIA characters could potentially die. Except probably Clementine and AJ. I don't think they'll kill them in the first 10 minutes if they end up killing them in this episode. But we're definitely going to see some deaths here. And some predictions of some deaths I could have are definitely maybe some of the determinate characters. Now, it's been stated that the determinate characters will be a lot more important, especially the major ones, will be a lot more important than past seasons. And in Season 2, remember, we had Pete, Sarah, Nick. They really weren't treated with respect. They were just killed off pretty shortly, and choices don't really matter. I think Lily and James are really the two main important determinate characters, and I think their impact will be a lot more important, especially with how we had in the New Frontier Episode 5 where Conrad could survive. That gives me the inclination that determinate characters will be more important than they had been in the past. But I definitely can see almost all of Lily's group dying here, and maybe even permanently Lewis or Violet. And we're also probably going to either have a death of Omar, Asim, Minerva, maybe even 10. We're going to have some major character death here, and I don't know who it's going to be, but it may be a determinate one based on your choices. So if Lewis has his tongue cut out, it could be Lewis. Or if, you know, Romance Lewis, it could be Lewis. Violet, vice versa. Maybe even, I don't think AJ or again, Clementine will get hurt here. Maybe even James, even though he's already determinate. They could kill him off just for shock value. I don't think, though, they'll treat him like that. But you're going to see deaths here with the hint of red water. Now, the first probably 20 30, 40 minutes will be invested with this boat explosion and the aftermath of it. We're going to be back in the boarding school, confirmed by the achievements. So, we're going to be back. We got to get out of this explosion somehow. Clementine is going to be alive. We know that for sure. Whether she's bitten or not, that is to be seen. But we know Clementine, most likely AJ, and probably Lewis or Violet, at least one of them, if not both. And then maybe a couple remaining survivors. And it's going to be a lot of emotions, guys. There's nervousness. Because, again, Minerva's not treated like a villain here. Because she's still listed as MIA. She's not going to be on our side. But I think there's a chance, which I'll be talking about in the future through, where she could be on our side. And I'm going to be loving to see that. So, in my opinion, most likely, the people that are going to make it out alive are Clementine, AJ, whatever determinate character you would pick between James and Lily. I think that person will survive. And I think they'll end up probably either dying near the end of the episode or later. You're probably going to have Lewis/Violet. I think it's likely, though, I'll say, let's make for a prediction's sake, I think Lewis or Violet will die depending on your choices. One of them. I think Minerva's going to survive. I think 10 could die. I think Willie and Ruby most likely will survive because they're not even near the boat when the explosion happens. And most of Lily's group will die. Especially all the determinate ones, the minor determinate ones. So, those are my death predictions. Again, with the hint of Redwater, we will see a lot of deaths, I think. Telltale don't frickin' do what you did in Season 4 and troll us. Hopefully, but that has been my predictions for the explosion, the boat explosion, that's going to be taking place in the beginning of Episode 4, Take Us Back, after the McHale Ranch flashback that I think is going to happen. Let me know what you guys think down below in the description. Who's going to die? Who's going to live? Is anyone going to die? Are a lot of people going to die? And how long is this going to be? Because usually when the first act, it's about 30 minutes of the episode. So it's going to be the first major portion of the episode is this boat explosion and the aftermath of it. So, I want to thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you smack a like, hit that sub already, and make sure you go vote down below for our next video. And tomorrow, guys, will be 1 month until Episode 4, Take Us Back. Wow. We're almost there, guys. Alright, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.